demands that would have harmed his nation's economy. He's promising to match the United States' new tariffs on Canadian goods dollar for dollar. Despite the standoff, White House officials say they expect talks to resume soon. CNN's Julia Benbrook has more on how the trade talks went wrong.
Taking a step back here, throughout the week, President Donald Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, as well as top trade officials from both countries, had been in direct contact. That was after Trump put a 3-day pause on the tariffs. Both sides had expressed optimism that they would be able to come to an agreement before that new deadline. In fact, hours before everything fell through, Trump said that things were moving along with Canada and that the United States and Canada should be able to come to a deal. There is now, though, that 50% tariff on roughly $20 billion worth of Canadian goods, and Canada has vowed to match that tariff dollar for dollar starting September 8th. This all just injects more uncertainty when it comes to the relationship between these two countries, and as of right now, there is no sense of when the two sides might come back to the table. Over the weekend, while speaking with CNN's Dana Bash, former Vice President Mike Pence said that he hopes that the two sides are able to come to the negotiating table again soon, adding that the last thing Americans need right now is a trade war with Canada. And some important context to add there. During Trump's first term, when Pence was serving as his vice president, Trump touted the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement as a fair and balanced trade deal. He has in recent months, though, decided not to renew it. That doesn't mean that it goes away entirely, but that they try and maintain the status quo and that some of these bilateral conversations on specifics continue. The latest, though, is that these recent talks with Canada have failed. Both sides said that last-minute changes to the deal really unraveled a delicate balance that was struck in recent days. We have reached out to the White House to see if there are any plans to start these conversations again. Julia Benbrook, CNN, the White House.
All right, thank you, Julia. The former sheriff's deputy convicted in the 2024 death of Sonia Massey in Illinois has died in prison. Sean Grayson's lawyer confirmed the 32-year-old's death Sunday after a battle with stage 4 cancer. He was serving a 20-year sentence. Massey had called deputies to her home suspecting an intruder, and Grayson fatally shot her after she grabbed a pot of boiling water from the stove. Massey had struggled with mental health issues. The U.S. military says it struck an alleged drug trafficking boat in the Eastern Pacific. The U.S. Southern Command says 2 people were killed in Sunday's strike, and it marks the first known strike in more than 2 months, as at least 221 people have been killed and at least 67 vessels have been destroyed since the Operation Southern Spear campaign began last September. The Freedom 250 Grand Prix race through the heart of D.C. It took place over the weekend, with Indy cars reaching speeds up to 180 miles per hour. CNN's Brian Todd was there and has more.
That's President Trump in the presidential limousine doing a ceremonial lap around the course ahead of the race. This is turn 4, one of 7 turns in this race. And there's the president right there. He's riding the presidential limousine called the Beast as he takes a ceremonial lap around the course before the start of the race. The president also says, again, this is turn 4, coming down Constitution Avenue, turning right onto 7th Street Northwest, one of the tighter turns in a race that has several tight turns, actually. So it's 1.7 miles. They have to do it 147 times to get to 250 miles. Good weather today. Crowd's really excited. Again, we talked to people coming in through the checkpoints. Everybody we talked to said it was a smooth experience. So it's 1.7 miles. They have to do it 140.
In the trial of the man accused in the murder of Tupac. Plus, why the president's son-in-law and the Democratic House Minority Leader got together for a meeting. In the trial of the man accused in the murder of Tupac. Plus, why the president's son-in-law and the Democratic House Minority Leader got together for a meeting. Details on that and more when CNN Headline Express returns. Lots more to come on CNN Headline Express. The man who took the iconic last photo of Tupac Shakur right before he was shot takes the stand. The latest in the trial of the man accused in the murder of Tupac. Plus, why the president's son-in-law and the Democratic House Minority Leader got together for a meeting. Details on that and more when CNN Headline Express returns.
Decades in Sports, next Sunday at 9 on
Met with House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries to discuss the ways that the White House and Democrats can collaborate. The source says that they discussed issues such as immigration, housing, and the cost of living. They previously worked together on prison reform legislation. House Speaker Mike Johnson downplayed the meeting and said it does not mean Republicans expect to lose control of the House. Jeffries is the frontrunner to become Speaker if that happens. The Pentagon is forcing out several top staffers at Stars and Stripes. That is the official U.S. military publication that has a long record of editorial independence. The publisher, editor-in-chief, and a reporter were all fired according to the reporter. The publisher had already told staff that he would retire at the end of next month because his philosophy differs from the Defense Department. The editor-in-chief told CNN he was dismissed for insubordination for speaking to CBS News earlier this year over Pete Hegseth's efforts to exert control of the military publication. A robot beat Usain Bolt's 100-meter record, but at what cost? As robots went head-to-head in different sports. CNN's Michael Ariel was there.
Pretty astonishing and not so astonishing feats in one of Beijing's Olympic stadiums. A humanoid robot named Lightning ran the 100-meter race faster than Usain Bolt's world record time. But these competitors, they don't need protein drinks, they need batteries. Here at the World Humanoid Robot Games, robo-athletes are being tested like never before. More than 2,000 robots from 16 countries are registered for this year's games, and we have kickboxing, football, table tennis, and some of these events are getting much harder. The 400-meter race, for example, is now totally autonomous. It's reading these robots need to see the track, navigate it, and cross the finish line without anybody guiding them by remote control. And this is actually part of the point. When a robot falls, gets confused, or manages to recover on its own, engineers get a real-world test of technology they ultimately want working outside the arena. China's made embodied AI, which is essentially AI in a physical body, a national priority. The government has backed research, training centers, and real-world testing as so many Chinese universities and companies have raced to build better robot bodies and smarter robot brains.
That robot's got nothing on Mike. Still to come on CNN Headline Express. A father and son hike Mount Fuji. It takes a turn when the father leaves his 7-year-old behind. Now that dad could face charges. Plus, this shocking incident on a beach that had everyone running towards the water. Stay with us. You're watching CNN Headline Express.
Top of the World, premieres September 7th on CNN.
Of the late rapper Tupac Shakur, the 1996 death of Tupac Shakur. The man who took the last known photo of the rap legend testified how he encountered Shakur and Death Row Records owner Suge Knight in the minutes that were leading up to the fatal shooting.
A car rolled up, or really the wheels really caught my attention. Then I looked up and I saw it was Tupac and Suge sitting in the car.
Did you try to interact with Mr. Shakur or Mr. Knight?
With Tupac, I did.
And what happened? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I said, hey, what up, Pop? And then he kind of looked, kind of took like a double take. Oh, what up, man? And I said, hey, where you guys headed? He said, we're headed to the club. You should follow us. It's all right, cool. And then, I don't know. I said, man, let me get a picture real quick. And I had my camera in my center console, so I just grabbed my camera and snapped the picture. After I took the picture, the light changed green, and they took off, and I recognized like one or two of the cars that were behind them from seeing them from LA, so I let them go by, and then they got in front of me, and then I got 3 cars behind them, behind the BMW, and then we're just driving down Las Vegas Boulevard. Then all of a sudden I just hear pop, pop, pop. I see Suge getting out the car, and now the officer is yelling commands to him, get down, lay down, and you hear Suge saying, my man, pocket shot, we need help, pocket shot. And then the cop, for whatever, walked over there to Suge. Suge got up and they walked over to the passenger side of the car.
The trial is scheduled to resume later today in Las Vegas. Rescue efforts are underway in Guinea after heavy rain triggered a landslide at the capital's largest landfill, killing at least 30 people. Authorities say that the site was scheduled to close and people were given evacuation orders, but many were still there when accused of leaving his son on the bench alone while he hiked Mount Fuji with other family members in Japan. Now, police say that the 7-year-old got tired more than halfway through the climb, and his father told him to sit on the bench and wait until they finished the hike. Someone spotted the child and alerted the police. Officers were waiting with the child when the father returned about 5 hours later. The father did express remorse, but he faced charges. Continue to monitor that. Straight ahead on CNN Headlines Express, a disturbing scene in a hospital room when ICE takes a mother and daughter into custody after they were in a car crash. We've got more on that story straight ahead.
Have I got news for you? New season premieres
On our top stories, the military is saying this morning that it struck an alleged drug trafficking boat in the Eastern Pacific on Sunday and that 2 people were killed in the strike. This is the first known strike since June 21st. Before then, the military had destroyed at least 67 vessels and killed at least 221 people since the campaign began almost 1 year ago. Also, President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, along with spectators of thousands, they watched Kyle Kirkwood win the IndyCar Freedom 250 Grand Prix in Washington, D.C. Race cars, they reached speeds up to 180 miles per hour as they took 147 laps through the heart of the nation's capital. It was all part of America's 250th anniversary celebrations. And firefighters are battling a fast-moving wildfire burning near Reno, Nevada. The Hawk Fire started Saturday and exploded in size yesterday, scorching roughly 15,000 acres. Nearly 90,000 people have been urged to evacuate. Our Reed Binion has more.
As always, life safety and firefighter safety is going to be our number 1 priority.
Crews in Nevada are racing to contain a massive wildfire that started over the weekend.
We just recently finished containment on another one. That one was more in our rural communities. This is coming within the city of Reno limits, densely populated.
The Hawk Fire in northwest Reno started Saturday. By Sunday evening, it had exploded in size, growing to roughly 15,000 acres, according to officials. Time-lapse video from across the border in California showing just how fast the blaze spread. Authorities say the fire was human-caused, but there's no indication yet that it was intentionally set. As of Sunday night, 90,000 residents had been urged to evacuate, with 42,000 under mandatory evacuation orders by Sunday afternoon, according to officials. Hundreds of people spending the night at an evacuation shelter at the Reno Sparks Convention Center, with support coming from the Red Cross. Meanwhile, people also coming together to offer support in Hawaii, bracing for Tropical Storm Moke, which made its closest approach to Hawaii Sunday and is now a tropical depression. The biggest threat, rainfall, hitting the same places that flooded last weekend when Hurricane Lawa tore a deadly path through parts of the islands.
We're praying that we're going to be covered and it won't hit us.
A flood watch is in effect for the Big Island through Monday afternoon. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Dramatic video inside a Florida hospital captures the moments that an Ecuadorian mother and daughter were detained by ICE following a car crash. We want to warn you that it is difficult to watch. Authorities claim they were allegedly living in the U.S. illegally. A GoFundMe page set up by a relative disputes that, saying the mom has a pending asylum case and a work permit while her daughter's visa is valid through 2030. CNN cannot independently verify that information. The Homeland Security Department tells CNN that both women entered the country legally, but allegedly overstayed the periods of legal admission. A pilot in Florida was forced to crash her twin-engine plane into the ocean after experiencing engine trouble. The scene was captured on video by beachgoers. Look at that. The pilot was uninjured and says she felt it was safer to land in the water than try to navigate buildings along the coast. One witness agreed with her.
I don't know, it just kind of came in low and just, I didn't think, I was going to go for the beach or I was going to go for the water, and they went for the shallow water, which I think is kind of smart.
23-year-old pilot Faith says that the plane belongs to her family. She was on her way to the Bahamas to pick them up. Week 2 in the Tupac Shakur murder trial begins today as Dwayne Keefe D. Davis is the only person ever charged in the hip-hop legend's death. Davis shocked the court Friday by scolding the prosecutor over the investigation.
They keep giving out my address. They broke in my house, vandalized my house, vandalized my wife's car. You know what I'm saying? Because they keep giving out our address. Now they gave out my sister's address. This stuff is wrong.
I've heard it's going on both ways, that there's concerns both ways. I've admonished them.
Davis also alleged that his family is getting threatened and harassed. Prosecutors dismissed those claims. CNN's Josh Campbell has more for us.
Week 1 of the trial, the man accused of taking part in the murder of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur is complete, and the star witness so far, the defendant's own words. Dwayne Davis has pleaded not guilty to allegations that he helped orchestrate Shakur's killing. In a 2008 police interview prosecutors played for the jury, Davis claimed the shooting of Shakur and rap producer Suge Knight near the Las Vegas Strip nearly 30 years ago was done out of retribution. Davis said his nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, had been beaten up earlier that night by Shakur's entourage. Hours later, Davis, Baby Lane, and 2 others spotted Shakur and Knight driving and pulled up alongside.
You did a U-turn, so then you pull alongside of it. You guys were in the car. So you hand the gun to the back seat?
Yeah. I gave it to Dre, and Dre was like, no. And Lane's like, you.
Okay, Lane starts blasting. You say Suge looks over, he sees you.
I seen the bully going Suge again. I thought he was dead. He might have scraped him or something in the head or something.
So Tupac's trying to jump in the back seat. And what Suge doing? Just ducking?
He couldn't really duck because he was too big.
A Las Vegas medical examiner testified about the wounds Shakur received.
He died of gunshot wounds of chest and abdomen.
Do you have an opinion as to the manner of death?
Yes.
What is that?
Homicide.
The jury also viewed video clips from a 2018 documentary entitled Death Row Chronicles. Davis was interviewed for the show and provided a moment-by-moment explanation of how the shooting happened, while a recreated dramatization was displayed on screen.
When you pulled up, I was in the front seat. I see my friend, chill.
He said the shots came from the back. Big Dre, Orlando, who shot Tupac.
Before he came in the streets, he just came to the back seat.
In his police interview, Davis also claimed that disgraced rapper Sean Diddy Combs offered a $1 million bounty to have Shakur and Knight killed, allegations that Combs has repeatedly denied. He has not been charged in connection with this case. Now, despite past comments by Davis describing his role in the shooting, he and his attorney now claim he made it all up and was merely trying to make money off of his stories. Of course, a major question that will decide his fate: which version of the story will the jury ultimately believe? The trial is expected to last several more weeks. Back to you.
All right, next up on CNN Headline Express, Dolly Parton is speaking out about recent health challenges, some that have caused her to cancel appearances. What's she saying straight ahead? Plus, what it takes to move an entire castle. We're going to show you on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Top of the World premieres September 7th on CNN.
Closing arguments are set to begin this week. Clancy is the Massachusetts mom who has admitted to killing her 3 young children, but her defense argues that she was in the midst of postpartum psychosis. CNN's Brinjen Gross gets us caught up.
So before the defense arrested maybe their most important witness took the stand, Philip Resnick, a forensic psychiatrist. Now, he basically has made an entire career testifying in high-profile murder cases. We're talking about the Unabomber. We're talking about Casey Anthony, Andrea Yates. Of course, that name probably draws the most similarity to the Lindsay Clancy case. In fact, the defense submitted his resume 40 pages long to the jury, almost to say to them, listen, you need to listen to the testimony of this witness because he essentially testified that Lindsay was going through a psychotic break during the time that she killed her children back in January 2023, and that is the crux of the defense's case. I want you to hear what he testified to jurors, what he said.
She had what is known as a delusion of influence. That is, not only did she hear a command, but she felt that her body was taken over by an external force where she was in a dream state and did not have control of her own body. It was almost like she was a puppet and someone else was pulling the strings.
And when it was the prosecution's turn to cross-examine Resnick, essentially they continued to try to poke holes into the defense's case, of course, but basically questioning why, if Lindsay was hearing voices or she was receiving these commands, how come there was no documents of that in any of her medical records? How come she didn't tell anybody that, any doctors, therapists, any of the medical professionals that she got help from? How come they never wrote that down? So that is a continuing theme that we have heard from the prosecution's case, and certainly that was something that they tried to bring out of this witness as well. Okay, here's where we stand on this trial. The prosecution ended Friday with a rebuttal witness. The defense was cross-examining by the time the day was over, but we're expecting the prosecution to call at least 2 more rebuttal witnesses before this entire trial wraps up, and then of course you have closing arguments, and then the jury should get the case. So we do expect all of that to happen at the start of next week, and the jury might have this case in their hands as early as Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. Ranging Grass, CNN, New York.
Well, years before Natalie Hart became a key White House aide, she was showing her zealous support of the president on social media. On January 6, 2021, she flooded her Twitter feed with posts that were urging Republicans to fight for Trump as rioters stormed the Capitol. CNN's Isabel Chapman and Andrew Kaczynski reviewed Harp's now-removed account on X. Isabel spoke to my colleague Erica Hill about what they uncovered.
In the last week or so, there has been a lot of attention focused on the president's aide, Natalie Harp, and that's in part because Senator Jon Ossoff invoked her when criticizing the president, but also because of the administration's pushback when it defended her role in the White House. Her consistent proximity to the president and her loyalty has stood out even among Trump's very devoted inner circle. We wanted to get a sense of how far back this devotion to Trump extended, and we learned a lot in examining Harp's now suspended Twitter feed, which goes back many years. What was particularly interesting was a series of posts related to the events of January 6, 2021. The day Trump supporters broke into the U.S. Capitol while Congress worked to certify that Joe Biden was the winner of the 2020 presidential election. More than 150 tweets that have since been deleted. It's unclear if X deleted those posts or if Harp did, but these posts offer a public display of fealty before, during, and after the Capitol riot. At the time, Harp was working as a conservative news anchor, but she continuously praised those fighting to keep Trump in office and repeatedly cast him in heroic terms.
So what exactly did she say about the president and about his allies on that day?
In one post, she amplified Rudy Giuliani's call, "Let's have trial by combat." Lawyers for Giuliani later said his call was hyperbolic and not a call for violence. In another, as the president started speaking near the White House, she wrote "Fight for Trump" a dozen times within a single post. She also specifically called out lawmakers who had supported challenges of the election results: Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, praising their courage and calling them patriots. I should add, neither Harp nor the White House responded to our queries about these posts.
So besides January 6th, what else did you find in terms of her posts on X about Donald Trump?
Harp had been tweeting for a long time about Trump. We found posts dating back to 2016 praising him. We also found that on the day of his impeachment, she tweeted Bible verses in reference to him. And one she tweeted at him saying, "I thank my God upon every remembrance of you." And in another, she wrote, "Vindicate at will Donald Trump, my God, and plead his cause against an unfaithful nation." Now, all of this fits a pattern that has continued since she began working for the president several years ago, similar to the letters from Park to Trump that were published by the Daily Beast earlier this week, in which she wrote to the president about the devotion that she has for him. CNN didn't independently confirm the letters, but the White House did defend them, telling CNN she is, quote, one of the most loyal and hardworking aides of the president.
Express the stories that have people talking. And first up, the buzz around the buzz. Soccer star Erling Haaland's buzz, to be exact. He revealed the transformation in a now viral social media post. Who even is this? His long blonde hair made him one of the most recognizable players during Norway's run at the 2026 World Cup. The caption for this was, "New season, new trim." And another post said, "Short hair, don't care." And National Treasure 3 got the green light. The director behind the films told fans the news at a live recording of the National Treasure Hunt podcast. As for Nicolas Cage, the director says that he's on board too, but he said it's Hollywood, so anything can happen. No word from Cage just yet. And Dolly Parton has opened up about her health. She told People.com she's dealing with issues that she ignored while she cared for her husband before his death last year. She said her doctor told her not to attend an event at Dollywood earlier this month. And at the time, she said she sometimes gets a little dizzy and dehydrated. 1,000 people won the chance to help move a massive castle. Yes, they moved a castle. Here's CNN's Hannah Montgomery to explain.
How many people does it take to move a 400-ton castle? 1,000, as this Japanese city found out. In 2015, Hirosaki Castle in Aomori Prefecture was moved so that workers could repair the stone wall that supported it. Here's a time lapse from that time. You can see it was put on rails and moved about 80 meters to a temporary foundation. And now that the repairs are done, it's time to move the castle back. Around 1,000 lucky people were picked by lottery to play tug-of-war with a giant castle on Sunday, moving it about 1 meter. But it still has a long way to go, with a full move expected to finish by the end of the year.
All right, still to come on CNN Headline Express, flock cameras backlash. Law enforcement say that they capture crucial information to keep the public safe. Protesters say it's an invasion of privacy. And check out this massive marlin, 1,200 pounds, and it took 3 hours to reel it in. Sounds about right.
Decades in Sports, next Sunday at 9.